Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Inside Winston Cup Racing. I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina at Martin Motorsports. This is team headquarters for the Stanley Tool Chevrolets, which are driven by Larry Pearson in the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series. Larry has 2 wins already this year and is going for number 3 this afternoon in the Lysol 200 on the road course at Watkins Glen, New York. Bill Weber is in our studios in Charlotte, North Carolina with a look at the qualifying and other news. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Ned. And hello again, everybody. It's Terry Labonte on the pole and a talented field giving chase this afternoon as the Busch Series prepares to snake its way along the road course at Watkins Glen. Coming up, we'll have a look at the starting grid and hear from 3 of the top contenders for the 1995 Busch Series title. Also ahead this morning, a look at some of the teams that have been a pleasant surprise in the Winston Cup Series this season. Then we'll tell you how to buy your own team and chase the 95 championship. You could come home with a fantasy cup. All coming up on the pre-race edition of IWCR for Sunday, June 25th.
Today's show is brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. This segment of IWCR is brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
At the beginning of the year, there were some questions about which stars would shine in the Busch Series in 1995. But now, as we prepare to shoot into the second half of the 26-race season, we've seen a powerful blend of youth and experience leading the charge in chasing the championship.
Points King Johnny Benson has celebrated his wins and cemented his lead on a foundation of strong motors, consistent runs, and good fortune. Twice he has made the trip to victory lane. Benson is chasing some lofty preseason goals, and along the way he has 7 top 5 finishes and 11 top 10s in the first 13 races.
Yeah, we did set some goals. Obviously, the championship was one of them goals. To win 4 races was another goal. And, you know, we're halfway there on part of it. So we're just, right now, racing still race to race, not worrying about points. Just trying to do the best we can from week to week. And I know we've struggled the last 2 weeks that we've been out. But I think we're going to eventually, we're going to turn that around and search for some things that we need to maybe change or look for. And, you know, I think the second half of the year, again, is going to go as good as the beginning.
Benson might have an even bigger cushion if his Lipton T Chevrolet hadn't been involved in this costly crash in the Red Dog 300 at Charlotte 1 month ago.
You never plan for anything like that. It's one of those things that happen. You know, I don't feel that it should have happened, but it did, and there's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, you go on to the next race and not worry about it. It's just one of them things that did happen that, you know, during season, things like that are going to happen.
Chad Little began the season searching for his first win in the Busch Series. Now he has 4 and is second in the race for the series title.
Well, the assessment's been great so far. I just think our consistency quite hasn't been there. We've fallen out of too many races. We've run, I think, great everywhere we've been, but, you know, you got to finish these races. And we've fallen out. We've completely fallen out of 4 and had problems at another one. So, you know, you can't, it's hard to beat consistency, and that's what we're chasing right now, and that's what's chasing us real close too. So we just have to, you know, whatever the reason is that we've fallen out, just try to make sure it doesn't happen anymore. I guess maybe start thinking more about the championship instead of winning races.
Chad's 8 top 10s tie him for second with Jason Keller. He has recent wins at Loudon and Charlotte, but after finishing 32nd at Myrtle Beach, 9th at Dover, and 19th at Nazareth, he's a hefty 178 points behind Benson.
It's only 178? Well, that's good, because I thought it was more like 278. So actually, I feel that we're even a race further ahead than we were. So, I mean, I think it's there's no question he can be caught. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Larry Pearson is the only other multiple winner on the circuit this season, zooming to victories at Darlington and Myrtle Beach. Pearson's performances have surprised some, but not the former 2-time series champ.
Well, at the start of the season, you know, we brought Ryan on board, and he's done a tremendous job for us. And, yeah, to be honest with you, I did expect this kind of success. I knew it was only a matter of time before we'd start winning races. Now we are doing that, and I'm very happy. Things couldn't be better.
Pearson's Stanley Tools team is hoping to hammer out a smooth second half after a rough start that includes only 5 top 10s. And while he trails Benson by nearly 400 points, Larry's only 10 points out of 4th and just over 200 behind second-place Little.
Our bad luck started at the start of the season. You know, our first 3 races of the year, we didn't finish, and we had problems, and I crashed a couple of cars. So things are turned around for us, and now it's time for Johnny to start having a little bit of bad luck. And it's probably going to take he's probably got to have a little bit of bad luck for us to catch him. But, hey, we're not going to give up. We're still going for it.
I don't worry about it. The points are going to fall at the end of the year where they're going to fall. We're still racing race by race to win and to do the best that we can. And whether it'll be 100 points or 1 point, I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the year, as long as, you know, we're at the top. Whatever it ends up at the end of the year, whether we finish 1st or 2nd or 3rd, as long as we did better than last year, that's an improvement, and that's what we're really looking for.
Now a look at the starting grid for the Lysol 200. Terry Labonte, a 2-time winner of this event. He buried the field last year. The MW Windows Chevy starts from the pole, a track record 115.3 miles an hour. Mike McLaughlin picked up his first career win 3 weeks ago at Dover. The black flag French's Mustard machine is outside row 1. Chad Little has his Bear Extra String Ford in the 3rd slot next to rookie Curtis Markham in the Lysol Pontiac. The Caterpillar Chevrolet will be piloted by veteran IMSA road racer Butch Leitzinger, and Jeff Green rolls off 6th. The current series point leader has the Lipton T Chevy 7th, next to the defending series champ in the Slim Jim Chevy. And Jason Keller and Ricky Craven round out the top 10. A couple of guys had trouble on the track getting ready for the race. Elton Sawyer crashed and took a provisional. Phil Parsons crashed on Friday, but came back his 2nd round fastest qualifier. He'll start 26th. Johnny Rumley also crashed, did not make the field, but will loan a car to Martin Truex, who crashed after he'd already qualified. Some news from the Winston Cup ranks on this off weekend. Michael Waltrip was fined $10,000 for taking those pokes at Lake Speed. Michael has apologized and told me on the phone this week he considers the matter closed. A change at Bill Davis Racing. Veteran Jimmy Hensley replaces rookie Randy LaJoie in the MBNA Pontiac. Andy Hillenberg will drive the 40 car for Dick Brooks at Daytona, replacing Greg Sachs. Back to Ned in a moment. First, the rest of the starting grid for today's race. Green flag at 1:42 Eastern time this afternoon. The weather, partly cloudy, humid, and thunderstorms are in the forecast. Post-race report coming up tonight at 7 o'clock.
The next race for the NASCAR Winston Cup drivers and teams is the Pepsi 400 on Saturday, July 1st at the Daytona International Speedway, traditionally the start of the 2nd half of the season. There were some interesting stories in the first half of 1995, as I'm sure there will be in the last half as well. Tight points battle. Shirley Marlin has the points lead going into the Pepsi 400. Bill Weber talked to some of the drivers who are making the story.
It's not really a surprise. It's where we should be. And now that we've got the luck rolling with us, momentum, and good cars and stuff that are put together real well, we're in the top 5 in the point standings. That's kind of where we want to be at this point of the season. It's going to get really tough the second half, and the more margin I can get behind me, the better, so we don't have to really make any stupid mistakes. Just keep plugging away like we are.
It's really a pat on the back to all the crew. Like I said earlier, I'm not doing anything any different. We unload every week. The car gives you all the confidence in the world to do what you want to do with it. We use our first lap on the racetrack as our fastest lap of the day until we qualify. So that's just part of what the team does right there.
The first 14 races of the 1995 Winston Cup season have generated a healthy share of competition and controversy. But once again, the overwhelming excitement comes from the fresh challenge of familiar faces seeking to race to a more lofty perch. For a few, it is the wonder of contending for the title, the ultimate goal in this game. For some, it is proving consistency, collecting points, and hoping running up front will finally be rewarded with finishing there. While for others, it is a seemingly sudden surge forward, a weekly threat to start up front and perhaps pick up that coveted first Winston Cup win.
A lot of people say, when are you going to win? When are you going to win? Well, I'll tell you, you never know. As long as you can be in the top 5 and have that chance, like at Pocono and at Martinsville and at Dover, you know, as long as you put yourself in that position, it'll come whenever I get a little bit more luck.
The thrill of leading the points race is exceeded only by the chill of winning it. Sterling Marlin's march to the top is the combination of a well-prepared team, a great car, and a maturing driver. The Kodak crew is no longer interested in a weekly snapshot. They're busy developing the big picture.
We talked it over last year. We finished up 14th in the points, and you know, we felt like we had a whole lot better team than what we showed. And we run good last year. We had some trouble, and we run off good this year and finish where we've been running. And you know, that's key to finish. And if you got a winning car, win it. If you got a second place car, you know, take second, go to the house. And yeah, Dale and off hard to beat. They run top 5 about every week, and you got to be, you know, right there with them to gain the points.
The season so far has been, you know, phenomenal. I think, you know, we've had great success. We've just, you know, I think the team's meshed real well, and you know, we've just kind of flowed through 1 week at a time, and that's what's fun.
Surprising to you that the meshes work that well, that fast?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it is to everybody, you know, even the guys here. I mean, they've, you know, we've all, you know, sat back at one time or another and say, you know, we're going to have reality checks. We did it, Pocono. You know, we're going to have, you know, days like that, and, you know, we're going to have them. I mean, it could go bite you at any time, you know, but at the same time, we're just, you know, trying to think in the right direction, you know, hopefully together.
This season, we've seen Dale Earnhardt is not immune to the potential point-shaving problem looming in every turn. The champ knows an 8th title is a reachable goal, and running for points must be part of the plan.
Still, you like to have one more races, and then there's the factor of the 3 races we got in wrecked. So we just, you know, stayed out of the trouble, would have been in really good shape now, but still, it's a long way to the end, and we're going to work hard on, you know, gaining some more.
This season, we've seen several teams emerge as serious challengers in the points and on the track. Some are new combinations starting to click. Some have been together and are now hitting their stride, while others are hoping this is the long-awaited payoff for all the hard work of the past.
We're real close, and minor changes here and there with the car and with the team. You know, guys doing a little bit, digging down a little extra on the crew, and the pit stops they've been giving me's been awesome. And you know, I'm just working my butt off to be consistent in the race car and give them a car that we're competitive with for 500 miles, and then worrying about stepping up and winning as a result of that. Not trying to do anything any differently to accomplish that, but just having what we've been doing, the consistency will be rewarded with a victory.
One of the true joys of racing is witnessing the run of a first-time winner. It's happened 4 times in the last 45 races. And while these familiar colors have made the trip, Bobby Hamilton is anxious to take the king and his court back for another visit to Victory Lane.
It makes you feel good to drive a car that's got that much support behind it, you know, and that being because of Richard Petty, you know, he's been around so long, and it's just familiar colors for the race fans to keep up with. And I told somebody in the newspaper, doing a newspaper article, I said, I'm no dummy. I know if I'm the first person that wins with that car, it's going to go a long way, so that's what we're trying to do.
The Pepsi 400 last year produced the first-time winner, Jimmy Spencer, and it could happen again this year. There are guys like Ted Musgrave, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Hamilton, Hut Strickland, and more who are primed to get that first victory, and it just might come at Daytona. Hey, you want to own your own race team, at least a fantasy team? We'll have a story on how you can do it right after this. You stay with us. The IWCR mailbox is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Our question is from Debbie Weaver from Barstow, California. How much damage can a car sustain in a wreck before being black flagged and pulled out of a race? And who decides when a car has too much damage?
Hello, I'm David Hoot from NASCAR. A car must be able to maintain a minimum speed, and this is for a safety factor. So after it sustains damage, it must be able to maintain the minimum speed. The spoiler requirement for a particular racetrack. The safety of the competitors is the utmost concern on how much damage a car can have, and this is made by the officials around the racetrack viewing the car in competition. Thanks for your question, David.
If you have a question, write to us at Inside Winston Cup Racing, Box 240-417, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28224. If we use your question, you'll receive a Miller Genuine Draft Race Team Jacket and a copy of Speed Weeks 95, the official Daytona Speed Weeks commemorative book. signed by back-to-back Daytona 500 champion Sterling Marlin.
Fantasy Cup Auto Racing, something new in motorsports, but you'll learn about it right after this break. Stay with us.
Next Saturday, the Winston Cup Series roars into the 15th race of the season as we return to Daytona. Sterling Marlin leads the points. Jimmy Spencer is the defending champ. Sunday morning, we'll have a post-race report from the Pepsi 400.
Then on Sunday afternoon, the Busch Series moves to the 1 Mile Oval in Milwaukee. Mike Wallace pulled out the win here 1 year ago. We'll have the story from the Sears 250.
And we'll take you into the garage for a look at how teams break down pre-race preparation. Next week, our focus is the Smokin' Joe's team. And the behind-the-scenes subject, tires.
This is 4 here, that from now on to be 2. Only 2 right sides. The last set of stickers. 10-4.
Hi, I'm Bill Broderick with Unical 76. Just want to wish Inside Winston Cup Racing a happy 10th anniversary and hope you have 100 more.
Rotisserie has been a popular form of entertainment and test of skills of fans in many sports for a long period of time. Fans could choose their own players, pay their salaries with a budget. Well, now it has come to auto racing, Fantasy Cup Auto Racing. You can own your own team of drivers, 8 of them, at every NASCAR Winston Cup race. And you can even trade those drivers if you don't like them, if you think one driver will run better at one track than another. Let's find out how it works.
Being a Winston Cup car owner can bring the reward of winning, the excitement of celebrating in victory lane and sharing the feeling of winning a race and maybe someday a championship is a thrill never to be forgotten. But being a car owner can also bring frustration and disappointment. Today, there is the challenge of making each race, let alone trying to win one. Ownership brings heartbreak and headaches, but it is the sheer challenge of trying to compete in the series that brings successful business people into the sport. Unfortunately, most of us can't afford our own team. But now, thanks to the stock car edition of the Fantasy Cup, you can assemble your own crew of all-star drivers and chase the 1995 championship.
Well, basically, Fantasy Cup Auto Racing is a NASCAR Winston Cup Racing League whereby you can become your own Winston Cup team owner. Basically, we give you a $10 million spending budget, and we give you a list of all the different drivers who are on the current Winston Cup circuit. And each of those drivers has a price tag associated with them, and you have to select 8 of them without going over your imaginary $10 million spending budget. Then you'll watch the race on Sunday once you have your team in place, and you'll score the same amount of points as they do in real life. And if your 8 drivers add up to the most points scored for that weekend's race, you'll win the grand prize. And there are 20 grand prize winners each week.
So, all drivers are assigned a dollar value and accumulate points during each real race, just like you do on the Winston Cup circuit, including bonus points for leading a lap and leading the most laps. You start with $10 million. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Then you draft your team of 8 drivers without exceeding the $10 million cap. On race day, you root for your drivers, add up your points, and charge after the Fantasy Cup. It's an idea that has captivated fans from many sports for years.
Oh, sure. They're out in thousands of baseball, football, basketball, and hockey leagues. We were the first ones to start it with Winston Cup Racing. We started it approximately 3 years ago with the '93 season, and we've had great success with it since. There have been 3 past $10,000 grand prize winners, and in about another month, there's going to be another $10,000 grand prize winner the first half of the season.
Each week you can trade up to 3 drivers, being careful not to go over the salary cap. Driver values fluctuate based on their success or struggles during the season. As team owner, you must make the critical decision on who will drive for you each race. The top 20 finishers are awarded cash prizes every week. The Fall Challenge Grand Champion wins $10,000. Every team needs a little luck to win, and that's true in this series too.
But the biggest thing is that it's a game of skill. And the reason it's considered to be a game of skill is because if you're an astute follower of the sport, you'll know that certain drivers run certain tracks better than others, and as a result, you'll be able to better your chances of winning each week by trading for those drivers accordingly when they go to those tracks.
So you better be certain to do your homework, because you'll be competing against some tough teams and cunning car owners, including some Winston Cup team members who are already working hard trying to win the real thing. The green flag drops on the fall session of the Fantasy Cup, beginning with the Slick 5300 in Loudon, New Hampshire on July 9th. And you can begin building your team for just $99.95. You can get more information or join the race for the Fantasy Cup by calling 1-800-877-RACE. And you can be the newest Winston Cup team owner. Good luck.
I've been playing Fantasy Cup Auto Racing for about 6 months now. Haven't done too well at it, but I can promise you it is quite a challenge and certainly a lot of fun. Well, our time's up for today. Hope you enjoyed the show, and our thanks to the folks here at Martin Motorsports for allowing us to come in here. We're off to Daytona. You join us again here on TNN for more on Inside Winston Cup Racing.
Today's show has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 Gasoline. Add more life to your car. Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. Drivers, race teams, and race fans, if you order the new Team Simpson catalog, don't get left out of the action. Call 1-800-71-RACIN. Join Team Simpson today. The official conversion van of Inside Winston Cup Racing is Gladiator by Clavel, America's #1 luxury van. Clavel, the way we put it together, sets us apart. Communications provided by Racing Radios, Forest Park, Georgia. Racing Radios, the official communications of NASCAR and the Winston Cup Series.